Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Nikolai Shetikhin and I have Jim Johnston with me. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Nick. How are you doing today?
Doing good. And Jim, today we're going to do something very interesting and rather unusual. But before we start, let's introduce our company.
Okay, MTech Systems. MTech Systems is a company founded about 30 years ago, and its core focus is producing software solutions for poultry and swine companies. And it's really enabling these companies to help improve their performance and use the best data practices to get towards digital excellence.
Yes, exactly. And since we work in poultry and swine industries, those are very challenging yet exciting times for us. So when this industry is developing very rapidly, and there are always new challenges and new opportunities, new goals and improvements are happening, from quality assurance to welfare to environment to customer relationship, equipments, and different kinds of technologies.
Yeah, and the fun thing is the company's customers, we basically have to juggle with all these different things at the same time. You don't get the luxury of only going after one of these items. You've got to move on all fronts at the same time. And also, this year we've had nice little curveballs coming in like COVID-19, which is something else that the industry's had to deal with. You've also got other things like avian influenza, drought, high grain prices, elections, they all come along and you have to deal with it.
Yes. So today we want to try and simulate a game of sustainability. So we'll try to work out and play for a company, our virtual company that we call Golden Egg, and we will roll the dice and we'll follow the path of the game and see what kind of challenges we get, and we'll discuss them through.
That's great, Nick. Sounds real fun. Obviously, for today's presentation, we don't have the luxury of time. In the real world, decisions take time to make, approve, capital expenditure approved, execute the actual implementation. So it takes a lot of time. Today we're going to run faster on this game, and we're not going to play against any competition either. So we got like 15 minutes, Nick. Let's see how far we can get.
All right, let's start. But first, let's look at our board and see what points we have in there. And then I will roll the dice. All right, here we go for a little pause. I'm rolling the dice. All right, we got 6. So let's start from the first block and move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it takes us to your company need to implement integrated data system solution. So that's a good start, and we skipped quite a lot of points. But let's discuss what data management system can bring to our virtual company.
Okay, so data management system is really where we're going to grab all the data that's used in the business and put it in one central database. And in that database, we're going to integrate different functions. So we capture data once, we then integrate it to reporting, to costings, to planning. We're also looking at integrating with other software systems, the accounting system, for example, or other areas where data is available throughout the business. The important thing is that we've got integrity in that data. So we've got traceability and we can create visibility on it. It's the basic foundation of any good performing business and a business that's using data very well. Industry 4.0, it's the first base in that journey, I guess. It's replacing all your books. It's giving you a strong digital platform.
Yeah, and also this digital platform will be able to put all the data in one place, like you said. So we will have what's called single source of truth, and based on that data we'll be able to generate a whole lot of different reports that will be used by different parts of our business. And this will also speed up the data entry, data collection, data work on, and will save a lot of time for our employees at the Golden Egg. But also we got 6, so we skipped several different steps in here on our map. But if we look at them, we can see that we really consolidated everything on the way before into our integrated system. And I'm lucky that we didn't have to implement all in Excel. So we got all the reporting tools, we got the costing models, and we got planning tools all under one hood of integrated system, and everything is integrated. So I guess it's time to move on with our game, and let's roll the dice again. Rolling the dice. Okay, we got 2, so let's move on and see. All right, 1, 2, and we get into your company needs to implement IoT platform.
Wow, IoT, what an exciting base to land on, Nick. I mean, effectively, IoT is Internet of Things. It's where we collect data from sensors and equipment throughout the business, in the poultry barn or in the chicken house. And we do this automatically, so we don't have user entry at any point. There's no manual requirement. It's all interfaced and automatically grabbed. So that increases the amount of data we're capturing for the sheds and the houses. And again, you know, we've got this integrated data system, so we can cope with all this additional data coming into the central point. It's really a big data set we're going to create here, and it's going to help us to utilize that data better in the future.
All right, yeah, like you said, we're putting everything in one source, and we trying to create these big amounts of data that we can further analyze. So I guess since we start building our base, then we can move on with our game and roll the dice again. Okay, we got 2. So let's see, we got 1, 2. Your company would need to implement artificial intelligence tools to improve your business.
Wow, hey, we're hitting all the right bases today, aren't we? That's a really important one going forward. Artificial intelligence is a bit of a glimpse of the future, and it gives you great opportunities to utilize the data. But really with MTech, I mean, we built the data science department 3 or 4 years back, and we've been working with artificial intelligence tools over that period of time and developing them in. So it's like now that we can use this throughout our platform, and it improves the data, basically improves planning accuracy. It's looking at troubleshooting and finding problems. We use it also in terms of machine learning aspects to manage tough things like logistics, where you've got to coordinate live birds on a farm to a factory by a specific time. You've got to coordinate a truck, a driver, a catching team. And it's a great way of helping solve some of these complex problems. Also looking at health and looking at predicting the health of a flock in sufficient time to be able to provide interventions and improve its performance and health status to the plant. We're also using your data in this situation in Golden Egg. It will be your data, your houses, your equipment, your people, and your climate. So it's really a solution that's tailored for individual companies.
All right, yeah, that's great. And you know that the poultry industry is always full of different challenges, right? So that we need to have more and more tools in order to tackle them. And AI is a great one because it can solve very complicated issues, but all it needs is a good and reliable data.
Yeah, hey, and you know, let's look. We skipped a couple of steps, right? So let's look back and see if we need to do anything else. BI is a big thing in terms of analyzing data, business intelligence. MTech has its product Axis that we have as our BI tool, and it can allow you to analyze large data sets and drill down into it. The only difficulty is it's in the rear view mirror. So you're looking at history, you're looking at historic trends, historic performance. You try to look at how this will impact going forward in the future.
All right. So let's try and see if we can move on even further with our game, and I will roll the dice again. All right, we got 5. So where does it take us? Okay, our company would need to receive a welfare certification.
Well, welfare certification is big, isn't it, Nick? I mean, it's becoming a major issue around the world, whether it's a retail customer, whether it's food service clients, and even just within your own country, the demands are increasing around welfare and welfare certification. Now, if you've got great data sets and it's organized in the right way, it can certainly support your efforts in terms of audits and being able to get welfare certification. And speaking to one of our customers, one of our customers last week in Australia, actually talking about auditors accepting digital formats now to be able to do their audits remotely, to look at how flocks are performing, look at being able to check everything from a welfare perspective, but doing it remotely. And I think that's a great start, that even these certification bodies are starting to accept digital information as part of an audit process.
That's very interesting. And we need to know if our Golden Egg company is already operating in Australia, we need to open branch.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, so now we implemented a lot of different things already, and we now need to do a welfare certification. So what would help us is the data management, and like you said, we'll have all the digital trails with IoT, and we also can improve welfare and planning, which can also help with different kinds of certifications in the future.
Absolutely. And how's the time going, Nick? I think we're beginning to bust our 15-minute time limit here. So I think we want to wrap up. And there's many steps we've made. We've missed a few, and there's a lot more in the future as well that we need to set the business up to take. And I'm pretty confident that Golden Egg has got itself nicely on that path to being able to use its data well and effectively, and take on challenges in the future, like waste management across the supply chain, like carbon footprints becoming a bigger issue now. And again, we have to use data to be able to satisfy the measurement in the carbon footprint of any of these businesses. So it's set up for the future really well.
Yeah, and we did a lot of good steps, like you said, that will help with digital transformation of our company, and will completely change the way we operate within the business and how we communicate with external parties. So the moral of the story and the game today is that each company will have its unique path. And the industry is always changing, and especially poultry and swine industry is so dynamic that the game is never ending. It's infinite game, because once we achieve one goal, there is another one to achieve. Once we do another step, there is another technology to implement, another improvement to do. So now, if we want to transform our experience from the game to the real life, you can follow the link that you see on the screen right now. Fill up a little form and you will get your step-by-step guide how to do it.
Well, that's been good. I hope you've enjoyed our little game today. We didn't have a lot of time, but we really wish you all the best of luck in improving your data management within your business. And we hope to be talking to you individually about how we can help in the course of next year.
Ciao.